Welcome, my acolytes. I'm Graveseeker, and this is Asmongold's I don't think Pokimane was joking. Here's why. Now, I'm reacting to his video specifically because I actually like his point of view from a way different point of view than mine, and how he thinks about the entire thing. And by the way, I'm just gonna hear what he has to say, and I'm gonna throw in my things. And by the way, I think I made my thinking about this woman clear enough. And yeah, this, you will hear it. And by the way, for my content, leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, press the notification button, and subscribe. Good. And also buy to Asmongold. And yeah, let's start.
Intended to be a joke.
Oops.
While what I said was 100% intended to be a joke, I can see why it came off as insensitive, and I...
Ha! No way. No fucking way. Like, if you are so long at this world as I am, you know when something's a joke and when something's totally freaking, like, in most cases. Let's just say it like it, because some people are just... But she didn't joke, because that's not even her first rodeo.
Apologize for that. I also understand that the current price of the cookies may be expensive for some, and promise will continue to consider pricing to keep Mina as affordable as possible. This is...
So you can actually... Oh, fuck, this bitch. Yeah, I mean, she's a scammer,
what
so...
was said towards one rude chatter. I did not intend it to be a general statement towards my community. I don't think it was a joke. I don't think she meant it as a joke. Here's why I don't think it was a joke. It's because she said a lot of things before and after that.
Yep.
That reinforced what she thought.
Yep.
And you can even see that. I watched this off stream. I watched Charlie's video about this a little bit, and Charlie actually posted some of what she said after that.
What happened next? Because this is only 20 seconds. I thought there was a chance that right after it, she's like, no, just kidding. I'm pulling your leg, hardy har har, just a joke. She doesn't do that.
Like, if you're a broke boy, just say so. Anyways, moving on.
This bitch. And yeah, he's right. I didn't even think about that, yeah.
If you want to pay $8 for Twitter Blue for some pixels, that's okay. That's fine. You spend your money how you want. I'll spend mine how I want. And everyone else will spend theirs how they want. That's the beauty.
That seems to be where the topic died, at least from...
So there it is. So,
Damn,
like, why would you... It doesn't logically make sense that you would tell a joke and then justify it. Because if you knew it was a joke, you wouldn't justify the joke, right?
100% correct. That's 100% correct, yes. And I should have watched it after that. Damn. Charlie, most critical, is a intelligent man. I really have to learn a lot. This is still...
You wouldn't need to, like, make it logically consistent. I don't know why she can't just say, like, yeah, I was being an asshole, and... Sorry, that's it. Now my...
I can tell you why, because this way you actually... Or the perception is you can scam more people if you just stand your ground and just... Like, no, I didn't mean it, and lie, so you can sell your cookies more cookies in the moment. If it's good for the long run, with high probability, no. But
my perspective on this is that, as I said, personally, I'm turning this down, I think it's a bit loud. I thought the initial reaction that people had to the cookies was a little bit overkill, right? I thought people dialed it up to 11 whenever it really shouldn't have been there. Yeah, okay, she announced some cookies that are overpriced, white labeled. Who gives a fuck, right? Now, I do think that people overreacted because it was Pokimane, for sure. But I've also read some stuff that after that, I actually, well, let me. There's actually two. I'm thinking of two things at the same time. Let me finish the first point. I actually didn't really have a problem with that, right? Because like she's putting food out there, and people are like, okay, they're either gonna buy it or not buy it.
That's interesting.
It is what it is,
okay.
Right? The only thing I feel is problematic is this clip, right? Like this is problematic.
No, he said this much last time.
Making the cookies is, in a weird way, to me, less problematic. Because, like, it's not directly condescending to your audience, right? It's not. So why is she trying to use the 2-year excuse? Oh, I don't know why. But that's all like a separate thing. And so
I mean, it just sounds better. If you put some thought in it, like if you say, yeah, I had this idea a week ago and I thought about this entire thing for 2 years, which one sounds better? Yeah.
So it's the way she acts about it. Yeah, exactly. And so there's been a lot of people, and there's a lot of people like this. And this girl, TSM Autumn, says, health is an investment, unfortunately. Sure, you can buy $4 cookies with 50 grams of sugar. It's your body. But products that are GF with these ingredients are priced. What is GF? Gluten-free. With these ingredients are priced like this. Her target audience isn't just gamer dudes because health isn't usually their priority. So this is a good... she means gluten-free. And I've seen this topic repeated multiple times, right? This conversation all around is so annoying. Individuals make this joke all the time. And the worst one, as soon as it's a girl, they all lose their mind.
Okay, just read this. Oh, okay.
Why are so many people doing this? It's not hot news.
Quick thinking.
It should be on the front page. Just don't buy the cookies. You have people like Neon, Jack Sneeko, average thousands of viewers, spread nothing but negativity. And this is a common statement that the reason why Pokimane is getting like hostile criticism for this is because that she's a female. This is an outrageous statement, and it's the stupidest thing that you could possibly say. And I actually find it to be very problematic that so many of these girls are getting behind this and saying it. Because what I think it does is it trivializes actual real harassment and sexism by conflating it with bad actors.
Yep.
You see, there are people that criticize Pokimane, and they are sexist and they are misogynist.
That's correct.
But whenever you throw this out there and you say that her saying that, like, her fans that made her famous and rich are broke boys, like, if you think this people shouldn't be, like, bothered by that's sexism, you're throwing the entire thing, you're completely mischaracterizing everything.
Yes, there's some mischaracterization, and to be honest, like, pointing something out and everything is this thing just makes the initial thing worthless, if you know what I mean. Just don't, if you see something like this, just don't point every time you see it, just point it out and say, yeah, it's sexist, yeah, it's racist, it's this, because it just loses meaning. The word just loses the meaning. Because right now, if somebody says, I'm racist, I just say, yeah, right now that just means I have a different opinion than you, so, yeah, it just... Or sexist, yeah, that just means that I have a different opinion to you. It's just meaningless right now. Those words just do nothing.
And I think this is what the problem is that you have people like this that keep saying stuff like this, and it's like, if a guy did this, it would be the same thing.
Yeah, of course.
It's fucking insane that anybody thinks that this is happening to her because she's a girl. And so this is with a lot of these things, obviously people like this make a tweet and they don't think about the tweet, right? They don't think about it at all.
Oh, come on, don't defend this. Like, honestly, don't do it. Yes, they don't think about the tweet, but come on, as soon as you send it, you carry the consequences about it.
Let's think about it. Let's have some examples. We love examples, don't we? Because examples prove that stupid stuff like this isn't real. So let's go ahead and go through it. Prime Energy. Logan Paul. Think about how much shit Logan Paul gets for Prime Energy. People fucking hate him for that. Now, you could say it's because of other things that he did in the past, but that's what people say about Pokimane. People also hate XQC. Whenever XQC gets completely fucking slandered, as if he is mocking and sensationalizing and profiting off of the bombing of Palestinians by some random Twitter user, This complete misrepresentation of what happened in every single way, taken in a completely different perspective, used for a complete agenda. Everybody is shitting on him. XQC responds with a picture of him holding a briefcase full of money like he's on the phone with it. And guess what happens? Everybody fucking hates him for it. Well, he's not a girl, so why did that happen? Well, maybe because it's people don't like content creators flaunting their wealth or having any money whenever the people that are watching them don't. It's very simple. Here, let's get another one. How many years was Money's Tight a meme for soda poppin'? 5, 7 years?
And by the way, the other thing is, she broke her role. She broke her act because she always plays like the innocent little nice girl, and then she acts like this. That's also something. And this is deceiving.
Just because he said that. Just because he said that whenever he was a popular streamer. Okay, so that's 3 now. Okay, let's go to 4. All right. Nick. Whenever Nick said that he had inherited a large amount of money whenever he was young, and this wasn't even saying anything negative about the content creators themselves or any other people, the viewers themselves. He just said he inherited a large amount of money. He got a hate thread with hundreds of comments of people that were furious that he had this opportunity that they didn't have. It was massively, people fucking lost it, yes. And obviously this is on a much smaller scale. The Nick instance was. So let's go on to the next one. Hassan. If you Google Hassan $3 million house, how many fucking things are you going to get pop up? You are going to get thousands of them. Thousands and thousands and thousands of them. Do you know why? It's because people don't like the fact that Hassan has a bunch of money and they think that it's not incongruent with his views. That's what they think. Now, I personally disagree with this. I think Hassan should be able to get whatever the fuck he wants. Existing in a system doesn't mean you have to follow all of your ideals. You should never expect an individual to follow an ideal whenever it's not beneficial to them. This is, again, I'll talk about this another time. I don't want to get into it. But personally, I don't think this is a problem. However, I acknowledge that there are a lot of people out there who completely disagree with me. They totally disagree with me. And that's my point. My point is that, again, this is a male content creator that is getting shit on for flaunting their wealth.
Yeah.
And again, let's go ahead and look at, for example, Aiden Ross. Now, before Aiden Ross went on his 4chan arc, people shit on Aiden Ross constantly for having money, for being in that mansion in LA, and he was getting shit on all of the time just because he had money. So to say that this is something that happens because she's a girl is so completely disingenuous, and it's so totally unfair, and it's also just not true. That's the other thing, is that it's not true. It's bad faith. It is. And what it does is it takes the problem of sexism, that we do have a problem with sexism in video games. We do have a problem with sexism online. This is a big problem, and a lot of guys treat girls badly because of it. But what I think is even worse than the guys that are doing it is the girls that are running defense for bad actors. And they're using this thing that should be reserved for actual bad actors, actual people with malicious intent, and they're using it as a defense for somebody who did something wrong.
Yes, in Germany that's called ein Teufelskreis. It's basically the devil's circle. You have something, it fuels something else, the different thing does this, and then it fuels the different thing, it does this, and then it fuels again the thing that fueled the thing that you don't like. And it's just a nice little circle that goes and goes and goes around.
And what happens whenever this happens, what the result of this is that people take sexism online less seriously. Because any reasonable person can look at what's being said here and say, wow, that's really a shitty thing to say.
Yeah.
That's awful. Like, what the fuck? So I find this to be very problematic, that so many of these girls are going and rushing to her defense to justify this. And I think that the more of them that do it, the more people they're going to alienate. And the more people are going to take sexism online less seriously, because it's just being used as a defense. It's not being, this isn't sexist. It's got nothing to do with being sexist. And that's why I just gave 5 different examples of how it's not. They're just making it up. Why'd you like all the tweets? so I could look at them on my stream. That's why. It's common sense. Yeah, exactly. I'm a check. I thought the criticism of the cookies was over the top, but the poor remarks and all that are really not cool. Exactly. I feel the exact same way. I think that people go way too hard on Pokimane. You're absolutely right. But at a certain point, it's really not that big of a deal. Like,
after a certain point, it's... If you have 50 points that happen in a timeline, you just have a line after a while. And with Pokimane, it's always the same.
I don't think it's like this horrible, terrible thing or anything like that. She's not like hurting people. This isn't a big deal, but it is bad. Like, I just saying that it's bad, you shouldn't say this. This is outrageous. And like Nicholas said this, and I completely agree with him. Pokimane's claims she's getting an unreasonable level of hate because she's a woman. I don't know that she said that. I did not see a clip of her saying that in this circumstance. Maybe she said that in the past. But anyway, I would argue Poki would suffer a mental breakdown within 1 week of someone creating a comparable Reddit post to the Boogie2988 essay found on Sam and Tolkien. Exactly. And the truth is that it's not just Boogie. Damn. Think about all the other lolcow content creators. Almost all of those lolcow content creators are all men. Like Wings of Redemption, DSP, fucking Boogie, Low Tier God, Pyrax or whatever. Dragon Lord, yep, there's another one. What's a lolcow? Christian, yeah. Christian at least used to be a guy. I don't know what the status on that is now. I don't want to get into that whole thing. But for a very long time, there were, it was Christian, you know, DSP. Yeah, there you go. Crusader. There it is. And so, Nadia here, obviously, as she said, she got a vast amount of backlash for a minimal thing. The internet's outrage on women is extremely imbalanced compared to men. I tweeted my opinion on new Call of Duty and the replies. It's absolutely crazy. So she goes and makes it about herself. Now, Nadia, you have to remember what Nadia doxed somebody live on Twitch and got unbanned for it after like a day. So she actually, somebody donated something that made her mad, and then she read their full name out on stream, and then Twitch unbanned her in like a day.
Yeah.
So this is the person here who's complaining about you know, people making mean tweets about them.
I didn't even know that, by the way.
She shouldn't even be on Twitch anymore. Like, at least like a 3-month ban or something. Like, it was insane. She did get caught cheating in COD. I don't care if she cheated in COD. It doesn't matter. It's a video game. And so then XQC replies. She says, yes, Nadia, the hate towards women. It's the hate towards women that gave the cookies their price tag. Coincidentally, it's also the hate towards women that made everyone live paycheck to paycheck and not be able to afford luxury goods. There's no valid criticism here. Tell him, Queen. There it is.
If XQC is on your side, well...
You know?
Damn.
There it fucking is. Should call you a baby for your tag? Well, the thing is, like, people can call me whatever they want, but that doesn't make me wrong. It was so clear it was a joke towards the one who wasn't in the community based on his logs. The same type of shit is utilized against you all the time. Yeah, but like, I don't go... See, like, if I'm making a joke about a person, I don't go after that joke and justify why the joke is real. Like, that's not what you do whenever you make a joke. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't. And I'm fine. Like, if she had just said that and been like, yeah, it's whatever, I'm just fucking with you, right? I don't care. Like, it's not a big deal. But it didn't sound like a joke at all. I don't think anybody thought it was a joke. Being a female sympathizer as your entire logic of an argument doesn't make you right either. Yeah, I don't think it's about being a girl or a guy, and that's the point that I'm making. People just hate content creators who act like they're above their audience because they make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because the reason why they're making a lot of money is because of their audience. You don't shit where you eat. Is it that complicated? I don't think so. Like, like it's nuts. Like, how much hate...
Okay, how many of you understand the don't shit where you eat analogy? If you don't, please don't write it down. I'm gonna shadow ban you anyway.
They just tons of male content creators get tons of hate. Absolutely. And I hope everybody can see that there are people that go into this with an agenda, and I think all of these girls have an agenda. I do. I don't think that any of them are looking at this logically. They're not evaluating it based off of what was said and what the reactions are. They are just simply saying, this is the way that I feel about it, and I disagree with what people are saying. None of them, there's no basis and no logic in anything that they're saying. And it's obvious, because that's why all of them are getting, like, massively ratioed in their comments, because everybody knows this. It doesn't matter how many times you lie, people still aren't going to believe it. Tissamonum was right about the health thing, though. She could be right about the price of the cookies, for sure. Yeah, definitely, she could be right about the price of the cookies. I'm just not sure. Like, I don't know enough about that.
Yeah.
Again, like, and that's why I never really... And you remember... Like, whenever I first talked about this, I never really roasted her for that, did I? Did I ever really go in on her for the cost of the cookies? No, I didn't. And people were mad at me for not doing that. Because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't understand the part with the... I mean, yes, I roasted her for being too expensive, but it's also, like, too expensive. You just don't buy it.
Matter to me. Like, it's just... It doesn't really make a difference. So if you go back and you look at what I've said, I think I've been the only person who's actually tried to look at this fairly. You should have? No, I didn't think it's a big deal. Just don't buy them. It's not a big deal. You were defending her. Yeah, people are furious at me. They said, oh, you're defending her. And now people are going to be mad at me because I'm not defending her. Would you go into a store and buy $7 cookies? If they were really good, probably. I don't know, maybe. I have a lot of disposable income, and so like I can do that without really thinking about it. So like you shouldn't really use me as a barometer. But the truth is, I don't really spend a lot of money anyway, so maybe you should. I don't know. I wouldn't really make the decision based off of what I would or would not do. I think we can clearly agree that men are not being victimized online more in comment sections by sexist women. I think that women do things that are sometimes disagreeable, like this instance, and then they claim sexism as a defense whenever people criticize them for it. I think it happens a lot, and it causes more people to be sexist. Because they see something that's like just fundamentally not true.
Yep.
And they get mad about it.
Yep.
They're like, we know this isn't true, but you're making us think this. Like, what the fuck are you doing? But yeah, I think that's the big problem, right? Is that, you know, like, there are a lot of times where a girl will be in drama or something like that, and I will take their side. And people criticize me. They're, oh, Asmon's a simp. Oh, I'm a simp. I'm always a fucking, you know, I'm either a simp or a woman hater, right? Based on the video. And, the reason why is I do try to look at everybody's perspective, but there are people who just automatically say, oh, this girl has an OnlyFans, so everything that she says is wrong, right? It's very common that people say this. It's extremely common. And, like, that is, in my opinion, kind of sexist, right? It is. But the truth is that...
Would I say that's sexist? No, because it basically doesn't go for the gender of the person. Because if a man would have the same thing, like, oh, also OnlyFans, it would be the same argument because it fits both shoes. But I think because of the OnlyFans thing, people think you're a stupid fuck. I mean, if you're in the porn industry, it's exactly the same, I would say. I also think that people who actually do the dirty videos are stupid, but I know there aren't. But the first thing I think about is always, yeah, they are stupid. Even though it's not always correct, but most of the times.
That a lot of people believe that. And yeah, it's a big problem that we have now. And I'm just saying that the people that are using it as a defense against bad behavior are just making it worse. And I wish that they would realize that rather than run defense for indefensible things. But yeah, that's about pretty much all I've got to say about it, honestly. Well, and there it is.
It's not an out of season April Fool's joke. Don't you guys have money? Oh, if this was the Diablo Immortal thing with the handies, just watch it. It's legendary. It's fantastic. Oh, fuck my life. Okay, good enough. By the way, acolytes, if you just have a nice night. Good night.